Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it is your Maker 2199 bringing you guys another commentary. Now, this one's gonna be a little bit different, and I don't I don't really remember exactly what happened. I just know it's a part of the Rage series, and let's see if I remember to put it. But I know that it was a full team when we started, and the opposing team just quit it out, and I don't think any one of us did anything extraordinary, or at least I don't think I did anything extraordinary, in terms of gaming or just killing, people and all of that. Maybe one of my teammates did or something. So some of these people just like backed out or whatever, and that's basically what we're watching. Whether they were raging or whatever, because they really couldn't do anything. These are some really quick matches. And I don't know, I really enjoy posting these, even if I don't get like the best game and all of that. And right there, I don't know how I missed them the first time, but I did. And yeah, it was a little bit awkward, but yeah, let's move past it. You guys didn't see that, but yeah, it was a really really fast match, and this is what I like. This is what I like posting these. King of the Hill, super fast matches and all of that. And it's just amazing. Not a lot of people have matches like this, I believe, and it's fun. It brings a little bit of variety and stuff like that, I guess. And I really do enjoy, posting these sort of matches. And right there, I actually thought that was one of my teammates. I didn't think it was a locust for whatever, stupid reason. But anyways, let's get into the commentary. Now today, I've been talking about Shark Tank, and there's another video that I can do because I already explained some of the basics and stuff like that, and this one's gonna require maybe a little bit more explanation for some people, maybe not all. But let's get into it. There was a company way back in the day. I don't know if it was the second season of Shark Tank. And this company, this guy it was a white guy. He was an older gentleman, and he had a company called Tech, TEC. And what it was, it was supposed to be a way to put, he had a patent on it, and what the patent was, both design and utility. And what it basically, like, what it had is that you could put wire through clothing, and nobody else could do that. And it's a really clever idea, it's really popular, and I see the appeal. I see people that would use it and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys remembered or if it came out, you know, anytime, because I don't know what you guys' ages are or whatever, but when I was going to like high school or maybe even college already, they had this thing that these little like sweaters that had the earbuds on the, what is it called, the little string that you pull, on the hood of your sweater and stuff like that, to keep them hidden and all of that, so that students would use them. Because at first teachers were super anal about people using technology and anything like that. And later on, like now, when I went to school, recently, like last semester and all of that, like teachers don't even care anymore. You can be texting or listening to music and all of that, and they just don't care. But back in the day, you used to get in trouble, a lot, and go to the office if you even pulled out your device just to look at the time and crap like that. So I could see the appeal, during that time frame, and I think that's during the time frame that this guy, came up with this thing. And the issue is that he was super small, he had a really small company, so nobody knew who he was or anything like that. And I don't know, he was just trying to sell them. He wasn't selling them on the business, he was trying to sell them on, just the patent, and he wanted 15%, for 500,000 bucks. And it's a little ridiculous. It's really it's a valuation just a little bit under 5 million. And I'm like, really, for a patent? Like, fuck off. A patent will cost you like 500 bucks, so I'm not gonna give you like 15% for 500. And the issue is that he had a really well and established business, and he was selling a good amount of product, like 12 million or something like that, he said during the show, of product already yearly. And he didn't want to sell, any of that. He just wanted to sell them the patent. but he was excluding his own company, from having to pay a fee. Every other company had to pay a fee except him, so he could do all of this. And I was just like, wow, that is a load of crap, and he was a really cocky guy. So Mark Cuban comes in and he goes out, he starts talking and he tells him, that there's an issue that he doesn't know how long it's going to take, because there's low power Bluetooth that they were, starting to develop and all of that, and it was going to catch on. Nowadays, low powered Bluetooth, it's become a lot more popular, and I see a lot more people using low power Bluetooth and wired headphones and stuff like that. So he had a point, and even back then, you would have had to been a fool not to have seen that coming. But yeah, this guy was super arrogant, just like the other chick that I was talking about on my my two other videos, super arrogant. He was full of crap, and he gets out and he's like super like annoying and like kind of like aggressive. Mark tell him, I'm out, I'll bet on this and I'll kick your ass. And the guy's like, you were out since the moment you sat down or whatever. Like super rude, because I mean, you don't get in front of investors and try to ask them for money, and then maybe they deny you, and they have their reasons for doing it. They don't have to give you squat. I don't give a fuck if you are Bill Gates or whatever. If your business doesn't make sense for the bank that they're trying to borrow money or investors, they're not gonna give them squat. How many times did Bill Gates try to sell on his life to Warren Buffett, and he never purchased it? He'd never purchased any share of Microsoft or anything like that because he never understood it, and he even says it up, till this day. He says Bill tried to, sell me Microsoft, a lot of times, and I never purchased it, but I don't understand it. And he'll tell you right in front of him, and he says he doesn't regret it. So it has to make sense. That's the thing. It has to make sense to the bank, the investor, whatever. And if it doesn't, you're not gonna get it. You can't be anal about it. And this guy was super anal. Then Robert, he made an offer. He wanted the entire business to be bundled. He made the same offer that this guy made, but he wanted them to include the entire business. And he didn't. he didn't want to. And he calls them insane or whatever. And Robert just gets kind of like crazy or whatever, and then Kevin and some of them, made him an offer, and some of them dropped out, because it wasn't on their, strong suit or whatever. But at the end of the day, you really do have to understand their point though. Like Robert was saying, for him to offer them, because they're trying to add a value and sales and all of that to the company, for him just to offer them a patent and at such a price, who's gonna pay basically a $5 million patent? Nobody. You gotta be out of your mind. You really do. That was ridiculous, and this guy was just so full of shit. That is insulting. Especially an investor, and then before he walks out, Damon tells him, because he was a lawyer as well, and his wife was a lawyer, he tells him, can your wife represent me for wasting my time, because that's what you did. He's like, I'm not here to waste your time, so don't waste my time. And I completely agree, 100%. That was not a dick move from him or whatever, that was absolutely the truth. And this guy doesn't even know he would have been bodied if it wasn't for his little freaking spawn protection. But yeah. But yeah, and it's absolutely true, because these guys are busy, they have things to do. There's better companies, better opportunities, and when they do like a dickhead move like that, it's a waste of time. Somebody else could have gotten a deal, and all of that, and this guy was just not serious, and he was full of it because he had Steve Wozniak or whatever his name is from Apple, and all of that, and they were valuing the business, quite good, and it's understandable, they did have a few sales, they had a few years, they have a good track record, so I understand that the valuation was pretty fair, he had a better company, and what Robert made an offer, it was ridiculous, but he deserved it, it's an insult back, it was an insult to the Sharks, for him to offer the patent at such a level, and just 15% of it as well, that was a bunch of horse shit. And then, he felt super offended when they did the same shit to him, so I mean, if you're gonna dish it, you better be able to take it. That's my view on things. It's like these people. When they start humping me, and I start humping them back, and then they talk crap or whatever, and they're all like, "You mad, bro?" I'm like, "Nope, I wasn't even the one that started talking crap. I wasn't the one that started humping. It was you. Just because you got your ass handed to you, that if you're gonna do it, you better be able to take it, bitch." That's the way I see it, and it's the same for this guy. He goes there, he offers a ridiculous ass thing, and right here, I don't know, that guy got lucky lucky on the other one, and I guess he wanted to repeat that crap, so yeah, I wasn't gonna have none of it. But yeah, that was such a ridiculous guy. He had a good company. Don't get me wrong, he had a good business. He had a good solid idea that would have lasted a few years, especially if Damon would have invested. Because he's the guru when it comes to clothing and all of that. So I'm pretty sure he could have done, something huge and all of that with it. The issue though was his arrogance, and him just wanting to sell the patent, not part of the business. That is like the biggest insult. It's stupid. Like what was he trying to do? Like get like a Kickstarter when he already started and all of that. Like what? I have no clue what he was trying to do. He just wanted money and get rid of something, but not entirely, because 15% you don't really own squat. So he's trying to make these people work for him on a spot where he can't do crap, and that's basically the way I took it. He wanted the Sharks to work for him in something that he had failed for a few years, and he was being super arrogant, not to offer them more and stuff like that, and it was just ridiculous. I really don't understand people that do that sort of crap, but oh well, he came on, it was really entertaining and all of that, but it made for a good show. I hope you guys did enjoy this one, and if you guys haven't seen it, it's called The Most Arrogant Entrepreneur or something like that on Shark Tank. Check it out. It's quite funny, it's quite good, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hopefully you guys like sub and all of that, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.